Small halls are an important part of community engagement in Gippsland. Performing in these spaces can be a different but rewarding experience for performers and audiences alike. We set out to find out what it is that makes these spaces so engaging and what it takes to keep them activated.
So we were approached a little bit last minute, literally days before Christmas, to see if we would fill in. There must have been another hall that couldn't be part of the festival, and we've kind of revitalised the hall in the last 18 months and been getting a fair bit of hassling the Shire for a bit of extra assistance, and they said, well, how about you do this one? So we thought, well, let's put a hand up and give it a go. It's been the most amazing experience.
To Gippsland, I find it's something that there is a real sense of community in every place that we go, but what I find with Gippsland is it's these little pockets that it's such a large area. Gippsland is this complete other entity, and it's just every time you come over one of those mountain ridges or hills, it's a completely new landscape, and it's just stunning out here. And so every hole that it's just been Ballara and tonight so far in Hallston, but they're very different landscapes. And it's a lot drier out in Ballara, rolling fields where it's just green and lush, and you still have a little bit of dryness. It's been a hot summer, but for us it's probably the greenest place that we've seen so far, because a lot of the places we've been to so far have been really badly affected by drought.
Just the fact that people are kind of sitting and listening, that they're comfortable and they're in their hometown, they don't have to travel too far. No, there's a real intimacy and community, that's going on, and it's great for us to be a part of that.
Some people have real problems, they don't get to pick and choose. There's always something to complain about. Some people just love moaning with the first world problem blues. There's always something to complain about. I know I could be.
It's just beautiful. It's got a really, really lovely feel. It's pitch black. It's pitch black out there. There was cows last time we had an event here. There's cows over the side just talking to us, because they're curious things. It's lovely. This is a real small hall, literally in the middle of nowhere.
It brings a life back into it. A lot of these halls, they still have birthdays or weddings or anniversaries and sometimes funerals. And they're used as a community centre and like it's a hub. But when you bring live music into a place like these, or into these places, it brings a new kind of lease of life in. It gives a little bit of a spark again. And everybody gets to, have a night that they haven't had like that, maybe in a long time. Like last night we had a couple who'd been married 55 years, and they actually got married in the hall in Ballara, and they were there last night, and it was their 55th wedding anniversary. And it was only built in 1966.
They're really great, beautiful sound, especially for, solo voice or harmony music, it just, the way it rings out in the room, it's really beautiful. And, we've played like a bunch of amazing halls with real history to them, and we hear, different stories about the halls, but it's, beautiful to play and hear the sound in the halls.
The kind of engagement that you get when you come into these, small localities and meet the people who love them so dearly, have spent their entire lives, and in some cases, some people who've just moved there recently, but have chosen to, and that's the big difference, is people really want to be here, and they really want to fight for keeping it what it is and making it better, and it's a really beautiful thing.
And they sound great.
And they sound bloody great.
I was feeling very nostalgic inside listening to John and thinking, this is what these halls were built for. This was the community coming together and celebrating, whether it was a meal or music, whatever it happened to be, a dance. One of the guys that's here tonight came along 40 years ago to a young farmers event. So I think it's, I think it's really important for the communities.
I think each little hall, I live at Mardan and we've got a little hall too, but each little hall has its own little idiosyncrasies and character. It's quite incredible. It's a shame they don't get used more, but I love the live stuff and using the halls. I mean, they have quite a lot of functions down at Medium Hall as well. They have an open mic night and stuff, and There's some great stuff to do, but so much nicer and more intimate. And it's nice to be with people too. You know, music's more enjoyable when it's shared rather than just listening to a CD or an iPod or something.
And look, where would we see that guy? That's the thing. Like, he's a talented man. Yeah, and look, you know, it's just fortunate that we can get to see it, and it's great for the little towns.
This is a great example here because you know, they're such an appreciative audience and such a giving audience. You know, I find that you can never make any assumptions about, you know, how an audience is going to react, and we've had just such amazing audiences. And I feel that it's in areas that, you know, there's not much going on. There might not even be you know, any stores or anything like that, but in those areas where they really appreciate it and really give a lot, and you know, it's a really great experience for the performer.
They get to see amazing parts of Australia and parts of the countryside that they'd never possibly get the opportunity before. John does a lot of folk festivals here in Australia, being from Melbourne. He's been down to Ballara, he's been down, I think he knew Hallston where it was anyway, and he knew Leongatha. And so he knew the areas of a lot of the places that we'd gone, but he still hadn't been into the communities and met with the people. And it's something really special that when you get the chance to come into these places, you see these thriving little hubs of love and community and passion of keeping these communities alive. When it's not an easy thing, you know. It's a lot of hard work to keep them going.
Well, a little bit of support goes a long way, you know, to be able to guarantee this sort of numbers. You know, we're 15, 20 minutes from Leongatha, and same from Murby North. We really sit in the middle of nowhere. We're not in a township. So to guarantee numbers is great to get that support.
Well, we've all moved down from Melbourne in the last 5 years, and the opportunity to go to events like this are so special when you live in the country. The live music scene is really doing well in Gippsland, and we're absolutely thrilled that we get events like this as close to home as we do. So,
I mean, for people who haven't experienced as much, you know, maybe you don't realise how much it kind of brings music to life when you see it in person. You know, like even something, you know, you might enjoy something on the recording, you know, which is beautiful, but then to see something live, even if it's something you've never heard before, it just brings a whole life. It's a whole different experience, you know. So yeah, I mean, maybe I'm biased, but you know, I love seeing live music, and it's beautiful.
It's what glues the community together, isn't it? Without it, what happens? There's nothing. People silo themselves like they do in Melbourne, where they just go home, don't go outside, don't see anything.